not, my buddy.
Welcome to Surface Noise, the A-side.
David, I'm just glad you're back for the dancing. We've missed the dancing. The Bianco boogie is something that has been in short supply here lately. All right, we'll let the room fill up. I think we've got all the extracurriculars tightened up. I see some wonderful people. Actually, I think all the people are pretty good. We got bump. I don't know who this is, but it's a great name. Dr. Johnny Fever, great name. WKRP shout out. This is a real troublemaker. I don't know if you've heard of this guy, Spins Vinyl. This guy is just up to no good. What's going on, Spins? Record Keeper, hello. Let's see what we got. Oh, Kevin, me, myself, and my vinyl, hello. Oh, this guy. This guy's turning to the dark side, Jason. I think we're doing a number on him. He's getting really pithy on us all of a sudden. This is Cesar. He's becoming fully formed in the ways of vinyl, I think. Let's see here. Trevor, hello, Trevor. Good evening. Flat Round and Spun VC. Patch Radio, hello. Up, my man, High Rant District. Question: did David get more pale?
Well, I shut the light off. We'll see if
you got glow. Good stuff. Andy G, hello, sir. Brian Short, hello. Greetings and salutations. So refined. David Nelms, Tiki Man, hello. Kendall, hello. Novice Nick, hello. Wyoming Dave, hello. So many hellos. Art, North Carolina Vinyl Picker. I'll get to some more of these hellos here in a bit. But this is Surface Noise. If you don't know, now you know. A-side coming at you full effect. Concert Buddy here. Guests there. Let's do a quick introduction. You probably know these guys. And if you don't, it's your first time, welcome. Before you leave, hit that like or dislike button. It don't matter. It's about the same thing. But make your presence known. Say hello. Ingratiate yourself to the better vinyl community. Depeche Commode, again. Love his name. I think that's Chris. I think it's his given name. So Chris out of Chicago, hello. Good to see you. Terry, hello. Tap Records, hello. I think I got. If I didn't get you, I'm going to get you. Melinda Murphy is here. Hello, Melinda. Greetings. All right. Well, you've obviously noticed who's back. Slim Shady is back. Or Pale Shady, as apparently Tom thinks. And as David, the channel is Safe and Sound, Texas Audio Excursion. David, welcome back.
Thanks, everybody. Glad to be back.
And then, and the reason I go David first, you know why? Because Arnaldo got beat at his own game. Arnaldo is Mr. Punctual. Is that how you say it?
I was a little late in doing my homework, so I had to rush.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, so I had to cherry pick some things for the homework that you assigned.
Well, listen. I'm a taskmaster when it comes to the subjects and topics. But Arnaldo, the channel is Fidelios _frequency. Important. Arnaldo, hello.
Okay. Hello. No balloons are happening now. What's going on?
There we go. That means you got the fancy machinery.
Good evening, everyone.
Wonderful. If you didn't see it, talking about that troublemaker Spins Vinyl, a nice conversation with Arnaldo and Spins was had Tuesday evening on the Spins Vinyl channel, part of the Spins Vinyl network. And I can confirm, because I have met both of these guys, Arnaldo is the faster walker. Arnaldo has a brisk pace. And it's probably because he's New York, trying to catch these trains and planes and automobiles. And and then sadvinyl.com. I don't know if that's a real site. I've actually never checked. It's just, is it a real site?
It's real. Go.
Well, no, I don't want to get my thing shut down if I get a bunch of that, what do they call it, malware. I don't want that to be a trap, like a general.
Don't worry. No one's credit card will be stolen on that website. It's safe.
Maybe we'll get into that. Yeah, we're not about identity theft. It is the one, the only Jason Rojas. Good evening, Jason.
Thanks for having me back, Concert Buddy.
Count on it. Good to have you. All right. Well, you know the players. Do you know the game? Let's get into topic number one. WAP. This is one that I got to be honest. I mean, it can derive a lot of inspirations. and I'm going to try to keep the take. I don't even have. Oh, I do have the oven mitt on the steady. I've got the pot holder too, because this is more of a pot holder level take. If you're like me, you got to see. I didn't mean for that to rhyme. That there's some reissues that just make you shake your head that's coming out lately. And the one that did it, and I'll kind of kick it off and we'll get the feedback of the dais and hopefully in the gallery. Need to hear from you guys. Is this David Lee Roth, Diamond Dave, my guy. Diamond Dave box set. Everybody hear about this?
Mm-hmm.
I did not.
The Diamond Dave, hang on. We're going to have the visual representation. Hold, please. Present. Because I think it makes it more impactful. So this is announced a while ago.
Need your help on this one, Melinda.
Now listen, the Diamond Dave is my guy. Like I like Sammy Hagar, but for my money, pound for pound, David Lee Roth is my Van Halen. Now I say all that because we have this Diamond Dave box set, and how do I say this delicately? There's a lot of spoiler alert. We're going to talk about cheap heat later in the show. There's a lot of, if you like it, cheap heat here. There's a lot of what I'll call common records. And so I just kind of shook my head because, I mean, I'm sure there's an audience for it. I'm sure people are excited about it, but I don't get it. Remember in Big where Tom Hanks didn't understand how the toy worked? This is exactly that moment for me because I heard about this, I saw it, and I just didn't get it. So more power to you if you got this. I mean, for example, a Little Ain't Nothing that came out in 1991 maybe. That's a hard record, not easy to find. It's a little pricey. And then Your Filthy Little Mouth. I didn't even know about that album, so the real DLR fans probably are happy about that. But the other three albums, Crazy from the Heat, the Cliffhanger one, and then Make Me Smile, very common. So this is the inspiration behind this topic tonight, because I just shake my head because we really should have a wager. How long before 124.98 becomes 77.98? Because that's what happens is these things get announced. There's not as much appetite for whatever they're cooking, like The Rock says, and then they get clearanced out like a mug. So first of all, before we go around and get your feedback on why are they repressing this again, what do you think about this David Lee Roth box? Anybody getting it? Bianco, this got your name written all over it.
Yeah, just another gigolo here. Yeah.
Well, I know you're a big Steve Vai fan, so you want to hear some Yankee Rose, maybe? I don't know. I mean, it's I don't know. So, David, not for you, Arnaldo. You're not going to throw your credit card at David Lee Roth, the Warner recordings, okay?
No,
and Jason,
it's not on colored vinyl, so.
Oh, you're out. Okay. And Jason, I mean, is this one already in your collection? Let's be honest.
Let's be honest here, Concert Buddy. Number one, who cut it? And number two, is it 180 gram?
180.
Was it pressed at RTI?
Ooh,
these are all, good selling points. We need this. Right.
What about what's in the groove?
Cocania.
Well, I think the important question to ask is maybe they were out of print. Yes, we see them in the used bins all the time.
Fair.
But new, freshly wrapped, shrink wrapped David Lee Roth albums, are they out of print? That could be a reason why.
That's a very fair and objective take, Arnaldo. I like it. It's highly possible. Now, Dr. Johnny Fever, again, great name. Depeche Mode, you might be this may be a battle royale because Dr. Johnny Fever's growing on me. Says, I have the OGs, paid around $50 for all at a yard sale. Wow, that's big currency at a yard sale, my man. Incredible.
That's right.
Wow. Now, Vinyl Piper says, and this can be misconstrued, but he says it bluntly, I'd rather get that box than a Steely Dan box. So Danners, don't come at me. That's a Vinyl Piper. I don't know if you've heard, he has a website where he sells his records, Vinyl Piper. Take it out on him. Yeah,
Vinyl Piper is right.
And Steve Vai, I'm in. Steve Vai, yes. Steve Vai was the budget bin Eddie Van Halen, right? Like David Lee Roth wanted to go solo, and so he picked up Steve Vai, and this is before I think Steve Vai was in Whitesnake. I forget. Anyway. All right, so guys, we've kicked it off with this. Obviously, there's so many directions I could go, but I want to be. David, are you going to tell us scary stories? What do you got going on there? Are you going to tell us the brown vinyl? What? I don't know what's happening. The professor, this is a good one, Prof. I need 360 gram records. Well, we can make that happen. All right, Jason, I'll kick it over with you. Give me. First of all, I think we can really go sideways if we're not careful. But like, what's a title you've heard recently that you just, why are they repressing this again?
It's a good question. I don't pay attention to too many reissues anymore, unless I want my, to laugh or cry or do both. I try not to. Man, I don't know.
All right. Well, David, I'm going to go to you. Jason is
mine
Jason
was
too much in OGs. He can't deal with these repress like the rest of us.
Mine was, David, I guess, the Concord / Craft CCR. The individual albums in different colors and all that. But I must say, I went into Josie Records, and they sold every last one of them they had in 3 days. So there's a demand. Somebody knows something we don't know.
No, I think that's a fair take, because I think just because it's not my piece of apple pie, I'd like to think they got to be doing some degree of market research.
Yeah, that's what I'm guessing.
I'm assuming it's not like Vinyl Me Please, where you have Store as the lone curator cherry picking titles like Sam Hunt and things that literally no one is asking about, and their vanity projects. The vanity stuff happens, right? But
by the same token, it surprised me that, Chad's reissuing that limited box set that CCR of selected titles that's so expensive for like $295, and it didn't sell out yet. I was shocked. I would have thought, because I think he only has hundreds of them.
So can we talk about that for a second? Because sure. I'm glad if people get it, I'm glad they're getting it. My most fascinating part of that whole story was the fact that Chad, for over 20 years, has been sitting on materials.
Me too.
Empty boxes that he's been pining to fill with beautiful black records one day again. Because David, you know this. normally we would, and in certain environments, you'd write that off, or you would donate it, or sure. You know what I mean? Because it's raw material that's taking up space, right?
Moving inventory, OSME, yeah.
So to me, that was the most fascinating piece. Was my man's been sitting on hundreds of these boxes for 20 years, 20, 20. So
well, I don't know if he was sitting on them or if he had them consigned with whoever he bought them through, and then he had to finally take them.
Fair. That's a good point.
Yeah, but either way.
All right. So David's got some CCR into the conversation. Arnaldo, what is something of late?
I just noticed Fleetwood Mac 1975 to 1987 on 6LP on crystal clear vinyl.
Oh my gosh. So what is the most exciting part of that for you?
I don't know.
Nothing.
Right through that band.
How many times do they have to? How many more colors do they have to make?
And clear.
In clear.
In clear. In a world, in a vinyl buffet of so many different color applications, clear to me just feels like an easy one. Or are they trying to mimic what they call the pure vinyl, the perfect vinyl, whatever that Chad puts in the UHQRs now? Is that the move that they're trying to emulate that? I don't know. And Cesar, exactly. Crystal clear is the worst color for records. I agree with that. I think that is
and finding the track.
Well, right. If you want to jump, then usually I want to listen to track 3, and it's a science on that clear. Listen, we're getting old. You got to get out the bifocals, the monocles, and the clear does not help that happen.
I know somebody that has one of those linear turntables that can find the track. On white, it can't find it. On clear, it can't find it. It just goes back and forth and back and forth.
Well, Jazz Bum Chris, you're damn right. This is the boomer take of the week. We are all about the show of record, and we say what other shows won't say. So yes, we're gonna get all the boomer takes out. We're gonna capitulate them. Is that even a word? All right. So
Can I
Jason,
ask
you went
this?
off screen. You went off screen.
Can we
No.
just say one more?
Yes.
Sure.
Hootie
Arnaldo, rip.
Hootie and the Blowfish, the Atlantic years.
Low hanging fruit.
Now, listen. I'm going to do point counterpoint. If you want to get those originals, if you want Cracked Rear View, or even if you want, I think Meriwether Johnson, if you want those albums, you're going to be paying the big bucks. So for let's call it what 150, is it 149 MSRP?
Let's see. It is 149.
Right. So if you're doing a cost benefit analysis, maybe. But yes, the other 3 albums in that box set, right. I don't even think the members of Hootie and the Blowfish could tell you what those are called. So I mean, you're really going for 1 or 2 albums on that one.
So it's a David Lee Roth situation.
Again, and I hate to say it because I don't want to pick on him, but I'm sensing a common thread here. We've got Rhino Warner. We've got Rhino Warner with the Hootie one. I think they're behind that one. So yeah, I'm picking up a common theme. All right, Mr. Rojas, I'm going to change the view because you've got something to show us. What you got?
I think if you can see it, this is the Creedence Clearwater Absolute Originals. Now,
is that just the box, or you have the empty box, or do you have the?
He broke it to the warehouse and took one of the empty boxes.
The box.
This is Acoustic Productions Anonymous. I'm probably the only one who has both the 33 and the 45 set.
Oh wow!
Okay. I'm not trying to brag here, you know. Now, my question to the panel and to the chat: do you need this? Right? Do you need
because
this?
It's not complete. It's just
correct.
Quote, air quote, the best songs from each album, which could be subjective, right?
You need it. You know why? Because it's the best sounding version of those songs.
Who said that?
Arnaldo, have you read the New York Times? So Jason, what compelled you to buy not only the 45 but the 33? That's my question.
Curiosity, as always. You know,
okay.
Like Arnaldo, I was a bit, you know, I guess taken by the hype. So then, at the time, this wasn't, I guess, what, 5, 10 years ago? This wasn't hyped up. You know what I'm saying? Like it already had its initial hype, and then nobody cared, right?
Right. Nobody bought it, right?
Correct. I mean, that's the thing too. Yeah, not too many people bought it. So I was curious, you know.
I'm more curious as to why not just do all 5 albums, or what is it, 4 albums, so that the collection spans, right, individually.
He probably doesn't have the licensing or whatever. The boxes are all the same, I believe. I don't think there was any difference.
So it was a product that was created especially by Analog Productions.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go back to, remember the early CD era, that's when the box sets started coming out of CDs.
Yes.
And the original thought process was, oh, let's compile like the entire career across 4 or 5 CDs, put a nice booklet with essays and chronology and all that stuff, before they moved to, oh, let's collect them all the single LPs or single CDs into one box. At the beginning, you had the Beach Boys, Elton John, you had so many of them that it was like career spanning collection box sets, kind of like what that is, right?
Yes.
So
next follow-up question, Jason, because I am an investigative journalist. What has compelled you to keep both of these for all these years?
Good question. I don't know. Good question.
Because those aren't light. I mean, those are probably some nice 8 to 10 pound swingers, right?
Correct. I like the sound of them, you know. I don't know. Maybe I'll make a video comparing them.
Yeah, that's all that matters, is if you like how they sound.
Yes. The thing is, I never got to do the video for the VMP, the Willie and the Poor Boys. I wish I did, because that one actually sounds brighter, and then this one sounds a bit more
Rolled
I guess
off.
Correct. Yeah, you got it. Chad
Ro-
style.
rolled off.
You know. And that was very interesting. Like I couldn't really decide which one I liked.
Yeah, sometimes you want a blend of a couple of them to come together, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like, and then the thing is, like, I can get the VMP anytime again, this thing, I don't know, maybe for sale, right? Soon,
So Jasmine Chris says the 33 version is complete. Is that the case?
That's correct, Chris. Yeah. That's
okay.
correct.
So maybe that's the play instead of the cherry pick selections on the 45.
Best of.
Yeah. A glorified compilation, maybe. I don't know.
Chad's compilation.
Oh, so they're different. They're different.
See, that's what CCR stands for. Chance Compilation Records.
I really collect CDs, Dave. This is a big reveal, Scooby Doo style. I'm going to pull my mask
Oh my
on.
gosh!
All right. Well, what other titles have our friends in the gallery talk about? Now, Malia's here. She says, "Is anybody going to pre-order the Black Crows box set?" Didn't know about it.
Neither did
Interesting idea. I'd like to see the specs on it because I do have originals of with Shake Your Moneymaker. Amorica. I have that one. I don't know if they've ever really done justice to the album with the brown cover. Shoot, help me out, Rojas.
So does that mean they're actually getting into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame then? The box set?
well, that'd be a big missive if that didn't happen. Then they've got something to promote. I do like this idea. Parliament Funkadelic box set. Now that you're speaking my love language, guys. I don't know who controls it. Arnaldo. Who has those, man? Who is in charge of that?
Wasn't there a rumor that was it ORG? They're supposedly supposed to reissue the Funkadelic albums.
Wow.
But I heard that 2 years ago.
Southern Harmony. Nick Fantasy, yes, sir. Yeah, Southern Harmony and the yada, 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 yada. That one I don't think they've ever really done right because I think they put a lot of music, I think, on one disc. And the second time, I think it was a 2-discer, but it wasn't mastered good. So I think this could be an opportunity if they do that right. Another one, here you go. Nick, Nick says he has the older Jimmy Page and Crows LP. I saw that's another box set. I don't know if you guys saw that, but there's a deluxe. I think it's 6 discs. And originally, I think it was an RSD release, don't quote me, 2014. That was a 3-discer. Then they reissued it as Record Store Day is prone to do. They did another Record Store Day of the Record Store Day release. And now you've got a 6-discer coming out, which that's your thing. Knock yourself out. I like it. Oh, and Novice Nick. Yeah, I'm going to hit you back to back, Nick, because that like button is really lonely right now. Let's hit that like button. This is the best free programming you can get on a Thursday evening because we're off of NFL season. Now, the other one I'll talk about, we'll put a bow on this topic. I'm surprised no one has mentioned it yet. Miles Davis Kind of Blue, arguably one of the most reissued records of all time.
Yeah.
It's just filling bins from here to Singapore. And the other one, if you didn't tell by the revised thumbnail that I had on my mind, is
Black
speaking of
Sabbath.
our friends at Rhino, Black Sabbath. All the Black Sabbath stuff is just, and I some of it's good. The Vinyl Me Please stuff has been okay, but man, Greenies. I'm a big fan of the Greenies.
I can remember a time not long ago, a year or two ago, where people were clamoring for more.
That's
Black
a fair
Sabbath
take. That is honestly, that's a fair
Oh.
take.
I mean,
This is how fickle we are. Is that once we get it,
I wonder if they'll do more in the current future.
and they really don't ever listen to us. But go ahead.
I wonder.
Gee, Arnaldo, I wonder.
Yeah.
Read the tea leaves, people. Read the tea leaves. No, David, you're right. I mean, that is kind of how fickle some of us record collectors can be. Is like that was the ask. Please do the Rhino Hi-Fi Black Sabbath. Then they did it, and then they did all kinds of other versions right behind it, and then the exclusive became, oh, we're making some more. So, yeah, Now this is a good one. Kendall's here.
Oh, yeah.
No one is
Dark
mentioning
Side.
Dark Side of the Moon,
Yeah.
reissued Death. Great take.
Yeah.
Great take.
Yeah.
But I also think when it's arguably a top 10 album of all time, I think that the case can be made that that is one that shouldn't be out of print ever.
Reissue the 30th. Use the plates for the 30th. Don't come out with the 50th and screw it up. I mean, that's what gets me.
You didn't want the 47th anniversary? Speaking
Yeah,
of,
right. Yeah.
this is the other part of this conversation that I thought would really light a fire under Arnaldo in particular. 1 year anniversary reissues. I'm talking about my girl, Chapel Roan.
Roan.
Like,
Who?
who came up with this idea? I'd like to know. Who are you? Do you watch the show? Probably not. We only got 80 viewers right now. Who came up with the idea to, because I'd like to talk to them. I'd like to talk to whoever came out and reissued the Black Pumas album 800 times. The 1 year anniversary, the 18-month anniversary. I mean, it's obscene. So if anything, we got to stop that. We need to get up the picket signs. We need to go to our local representatives and say, please, no more 1 year anniversary. Now I say that, and I don't want to call him out, but Jason Rojas, didn't you get the 1 year anniversary of the Chapel Roan?
I'm on the Chapel Roan Anonymous. Yes.
We need to blur your face right now. We need to blur your face. Change your voice. So yeah, when I see that these things are being reissued in an anniversary edition, if it walks like a duck and talks like a duck, boy, it feels like that's a money grab. It's a money grab. Now, yes, J. Cal, Kind of Blue was one of the ones that popped for sure. Now, see, Melinda brings up whipped cream and their other delights is getting a reissue, and it's really cute. Well, this is a great segue. You guys ready for this? Into topic number 2. You ready? Cheap heat. Now, I'd be remiss.
Cheap heat.
That's right. If I didn't mention a friend of the show and now a 2-time panelist, Jeff, Vinyl Record Info, had asked if we were going to do an episode on cheap heat, and it was in the tank. So yes, here we are. So what does cheap heat mean? Well, I think the clinical definition is something you could still find available readily. And I'm going to cap it, and guys, tell me if I'm wrong. $20, south of $20 is cheap heat. David, do you concur? We want.
Unless it's an audiophile record that's cheap heat.
All right, asterisk. All right, we can do that.
I do have a few of those.
All right, so let's talk about, because talking about Melinda and Herb Alpert, that's one that you can find. Well, generally, you can find it. Not too hard. So, do we have some records to show? Because I know that's a charge that some shows don't show records. Well, Jack, I hope you got 2 scoops, pal, because Raisin Bran's coming at you. So who would like to go first on some cheap heat? Now, these are hopefully recommendations too.
Yeah, I'll go.
All right, David. David is here. He's been training like Rocky, running the streets for cheap heat. Let's go.
So I'm going to start with a couple of audiophile ones just to get them out of the way. And for me, audiophiles like $40 or less.
Fair enough.
I doubled your 20.
All right.
Cheap.
So, and these all just happen to be MoFi. So those of you that say I hate MoFi and never want to give MoFi a shot, that's wrong. So one of the cheapest ones out there is this Poco Legend. It's a really good album, and this cut really sounds wonderful. So you can get these for $15 to $25. MoFi.
Okay. I like it.
Spinners. I think they redid this one, but you can get used ones.
Yep.
Yeah, you can get used ones for $30 to $35. Really good sounding record. And this one, I think even Melinda might have brought this one up on a thing. They reissued again. Baby, I'ma Want You by Bread. Amazing sounding record. Probably around $40. Then I've got a few of one other one that's really great sounding, not quite audiophile, but it's about $32. Talking Heads double album, Stop Making Sense. A $10 record, probably Toto's first album, one of the best first LPs of a band, in my opinion. Doesn't get near the love because of Toto 4. Let's see what else. $20. Steely Dan. If you want Steely Dan, you can get just the greatest hits and be done. This is an RL.
I was going to say, David, call out the RL because that is
An
good
RL,
value for a Ludwig Master.
$20. You can even see on this one, I paid $20. When I see this one in a bin, I buy it and I give them to people because it's a really good album and price. Again, bargain bin, one of the best digitally recorded albums cut to vinyl. Fagan the Nightfly.
I was going to pull that out as well as
Brothers
that
in
one.
Arms.
I figured someone else would bring it.
And that's an RL as well. The Fagan is an RL as well. I think I just got a couple more.
David knew the assignment. I got to give you props, David. You came correct.
RSD exclusive of Chris Isaac for Chance. He did a shootout. The OG he thinks won barely. I'm going to do one. I got the OG now, so I'm going to do one.
All right, do it. Let me know what you think. Yeah.
So I've got the original now as well.
Attaboy.
And that's it.
David. I mean, listen. That was some serious stuff here. Let's get you with the this guy. Knew the assignment. All right, Arnaldo.
Okay.
What say you?
I don't have as many as David. I got 5. Okay, I got 5.
That's what she said.
So one of my all-time favorite albums, beautifully recorded, mixed by Bob Clearmount, and I think cut by Robert Ludwig, Roxy Music's Avalon.
I almost pulled that one.
You shouldn't pay more than $15 for this.
I agree with that.
Easily available. And this one nowadays, it's around 40, but we're going to cause a little bit of controversy with this one.
Oh no.
Black Sabbath
Debut.
record, so maybe not so.
Oh, hang on, Ronaldo. Oh no, we got some of the haters. The haters are here.
But the Greenie is still very good. Then there's also the one that's very readily available on the Rhino High Fidelity website, which I enjoy. But this one of my favorite David Bowie records, Station to Station. That hovers around 20, 25. So is it cheap? I don't know. Depends on your wallet. And you want to get the one with the tan label, not the orange label.
So a reissue.
No, the tan label's the original. The orange was the Dynaflex after. The tan label, yeah, the Alan Zentz. I think it's the Alan Zentz cut, this one. So
I didn't think the tan label existed before the orange. I mean, I thought it came after.
No, I don't know.
In production.
I want to say it's before. After the tan, it was black. Remember, it was black.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. So the tan, I think, came after the orange. But
yes,
this
tan did come after orange.
The first pressing of this was tan, and then it became black. The black RCA label.
Okay, so there was no orange of that.
There was no orange of this one.
Okay,
yes.
That's what you were saying.
Sorry, I was
okay, that works square.
And this probably was one of the first audiophile records, most commercially available, and that is very easy to find. You shouldn't pay more than $15 for.
Yeah, hold it up to the light. Look for
make sure
clear vinyl.
The sticker says audiophile quality vinyl. You hold it up to the light, and it should be transparent, brown or purple, whatever.
Brown or purple, right?
Awesome record, orange, tan, black. Thank you, Jefferson.
Yeah.
Low, yeah, no, but not Station to Station. So, yeah, awesome record, beautifully recorded. I love the way this sounds. Great music. That was the Police Synchronicity for the people that are listening. Then I threw the last one is a reissue. And I know the double 45 may be better than this one, but I'm happy with my Kevin Gray cut of, what is this, a $25 record? Right?
Yeah, 25, yeah.
I think it sounds fantastic. I'm very happy. I don't want to give up more than once.
It won the shootout before the 2x45 came out. So you're right.
I don't know if the sticker still says Kevin Gray at Coherent Audio, but the pressing that I got a few years ago did have it.
And there's a clear one and a black one. I have both. They're the exact same pressing.
Okay, yeah, mine's the black.
Yeah, so they use the same plates.
Is it the black? I think so. Hold on a second. Yes, it's the black.
Okay,
And that's all I have.
very good.
Cheap. Heat.
Those are good.
All right, Arnaldo. Arnaldo also understood the assignment. Now, Jason, you look like you're ready to just rip it.
I
Cheap
don't know
Heat.
what these guys chose here. I don't consider any of those.
None of
cheap
those records
beats.
behind you are cheap.
Well, of course
course.
not. Even the
Jeez.
Batman one. That Bat one would lure they lure kids into vans, unmarked vans with that one.
All right, cheap heat. Do you like funk music? Do you like funk?
Yes.
The
Johnny
funk
Guitar
out of-
Watson, Real Mother for You, 1977. This is an
Heck,
amazing funk record. You know, you can get this for under $5, hopefully. You know, come on. That's, you know, I think everyone here chose something that was what, 20 or 40. Come on now, come on. No, man. This, I think this actually brought him back. Like, this was like a top 10 back in the time. Period.
See, listen,
What
this
else?
is there we go. That looks dope. I agree with
I
that.
It's
have
really good.
never seen that record in the
I
wild.
was gonna say I'm too white. I've never seen that either. I gotta be
it could
honest.
be
with you.
Really?
$5, but if you can't find it, it ain't.
You don't see this? Really?
No.
You're not looking in the dollar bin? Dang.
Oh, I guess that's the issue. Okay, I'm not looking in the frisbee thing. no.
Is half price
Sure.
books well stocked in that album? Because that's where I need to probably go. Okay.
They don't have
All right.
anything for $5 anymore.
1970, The Rascals, Peaceful World. Do you like a rock band doing Miles Davis, like going funky, jazz, R&B? This is it. This one doesn't get any love because this was post their hits. You know, they were not hit makers anymore. But Columbia took a chance on them after they were, I think, dropped by Atlantic Records. You know, so again, if you like that Bitches Brew, you can probably get this for under 10. This one's great. It's a double too. I mean, yeah, I got the White Label promo. Let's not brag here. But if you like Bitches Brew and you want it to be more rockin' and soulful, The Rascals' Peaceful World.
All right.
1985. Do you like new wave pop music from the 80s? Scritti
Yes.
Politti. This thing will take you to, you know, Michael Jackson was completely jealous of Scritti Politti. He thought, what is the song, Arnold? A Perfect Way was the best song in 1985.
Miles Davis did it.
Yep, and Miles even loved Green Gartside. He loved him. Like, Miles would call him in the middle of the night, you know, and talk to Green Gartside. That's so wild. You know, if Miles calls you, you're like, what the? This is a prank call, right? You know, but again, this is great 80s pop. I mean, I think this changed the game for a lot of, you know, people who were trying to imitate this kind of sound, right?
Absolutely. One of my favorite albums.
All right, I got two more.
Arnaldo, what's for dinner? That's Arnaldo eating something.
Right. All right. People laugh at the later Beach Boys, right? This is the Light album, right? The LA album. This is actually super good because they were trying, you know? It has like the last songs that Dennis Wilson did for his Bamboo record that was unfinished. Even Mike Love tries on this record, you know? I mean, his song sucks, but he's trying. I give him that. And if you like disco, they cover their 67 song, Here Comes the Night, like the disco version, you know? That's probably like, I don't know. That's probably like.
I got a
2
promo
points.
of that. Here's a promo.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
You know,
Oh,
This
I think
was
I
not a
dated
big
that
hit for
girl in
them.
the middle panel, right there in the
Another
left.
white label promo there.
Wow.
yeah. So that's actually Kathy Lamb, I believe. She's Baby Blue. I don't know if you, one of Dennis Wilson's
Wow.
songs. So I think Denny or Carl, but you can get this for under 10. And the last record I do want to show that people sleep on. 1969, Shirley Scott, Soul Song. She is the infamous, famous keyboard player, right? Jazz, comes from the jazz, like all her, I think, early Impulse Prestige records are very popular. But she actually sings on this album. She doesn't really sing on her albums. And here it's like so soulful. Wow. And it's cheap, honestly.
I've
Soul
never
song.
seen most of these records in the bins.
Yeah, absolutely not.
This is the first time
Really?
I've seen
Man,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know where you
Yeah.
guys looking. Are you guys going straight to the autofile bins or something? I don't know. These are all like dollar fines for me, man.
And I
Maybe
think
because-
I made about 2 wrong turns because Jason led me to the 45s, which is where I'm spending my time lately. And
maybe
apparently I
because
shouldn't
I spend most of my time in the other sections and I never browse through the $2 bin. Maybe that's
I mean,
why.
these are all cheap heat. This is when
Yeah,
I
but
say
if I don't
cheap
know
heat.
who it is, I'm probably not going to buy it anyway.
Ah, I'm not to be blamed. That's on you, man. You know, you got to expand your mind. I don't know.
Well,
You
thank
can't
you
buy
for
R- can't
thank
buy
you for-
RLs
can you do-
forever.
Can you do a recap? So who do we have here? Say it again. I got to memorize the names.
Yeah.
Shirley Scott.
Shirley
See
Scott.
the video.
What about the
Soul
guy? What about the guys in the go-kart? The first one. Jimmy.
The guys in the go-kart, that sounds like me
Doesn't
trying
it
to
look like a
describe a Black
go-kart?
Rose record.
1977.
Johnny Guitar.
Guitar.
Thank you.
Yep. Real Mother for you. I played this for Mother's Day. Like played the whole album, you know, on my channel because this is a real mother for you. Let's be honest.
I like the cover.
Yeah, great cover.
It's a beautiful cover, I gotta be honest. You've got everything you need from that time period. You have a guitar, you have a homemade car bike, you have some great Jerry curl, and
Oh,
Look
you
at
got
trifecta. The
chinchilla
trifecta,
fur.
you got the fur coat. Yep, fur coat.
That's amazing right there. I don't know. Like,
good.
am I wrong? Like, these are not,
No,
you
I'll have
can't
to
find
seek
them?
them out, and if they are,
I'm with Arnaldo, to be honest with you. Like
I
when
will
I
pick
do
them.
look into cheap, I've never seen. I saw that Beach Boys album before, but
Yeah,
The
I always
Beatles, yes,
dismiss-
I've seen many
I
times.
dismiss later Beach Boys because to me there's Beach Boys, but when Dennis Wilson was around, and then there's the John Stamos area. Everything in between is.
Oh my
sus.
God.
So when we go to WFMU, right, maybe you follow me and we'll find the cheap heat, you know?
Which will at WFMU will be $15.
Okay,
Sure, yeah.
$7.
Now that we
yeah, $7
now that
minimum.
we did this video, this becomes like a $40 record. Ah, jeez.
I'd stream it first. I don't know, but
Sure, give it a chance. That's all I'm saying. You don't have to buy them.
Yeah.
Just give everything a chance, you know?
Fair enough. Well,
I did
before
that
I
with
show
Mel
mine,
Torme.
we've got some great comments here. I do want to say, first of all, David, I think this one's for you. High Rant District asks, is that Stop Making Sense renowned for having compressed dynamics? Didn't Darko check it? I don't know about this. David, are you familiar with this?
I'm not sure. He's talking about the reissue.
Yeah, the Stop Making Sense reissue you showed.
Yeah, didn't Darko do the whole spectrogram kind of analysis with the curves and all that?
A whole
stuff?
lot of science, boys. I
know.
I put mine on and I liked it. That's all I know.
Yeah, I know.
All right, Terry says any of the first 5 Slave albums are fire and cheap heat. I don't disagree with that. We're gonna trademark this after the show. I like this frugal flexing. Frugal flexing. It's going to be in the Concert Buddy merch store coming at you. Scritty, Politi. That was another one. Jefferson has a good point. Cheap heat should equal 10% of the Discogs median. Again, you're introducing math into the equation, but I think that is probably a reasonable assessment. Now, Vinyl Piper, again, has a website to buy his records. Check it out. It says a good homework assignment for the panel. Go to your local, grab 5 records in the dollar bin, and then show us your cheap heat. Hashtag, please. I think that's a reason. Listen, I think we just found our new PD, program director, because I think that's actually a very good idea. Thank you, Chris.
This is another one I've never seen before.
The Rascals Peace Forward. Yeah, never seen it.
$1,
$1.
you know?
Pretty.
Gatefold.
Just remember, there's a reason it's $1.
Oh, there you go, being all high and mighty.
So Vinyl at Kicks 86 says, my ultimate cheap heat record is Defunct Thermonuclear Sweat and can be found for dirt cheap, usually no more than $10, and the record sounds great. Again, something I never heard about. So I hope people are taking a lot of notes because my shit's going to really pale in comparison. You got Roberta Flack. Yeah, that's a $8 to $10 record all day.
Right, $8. This is a great,
Yeah.
her debut, right?
Yes, everybody should have that. I'm with you on that one, actually. Yes. Now, Kimbo coming in. Johnny Guitar Watson featured on Pearl Jam Backspacer, the best Pearl Jam album. Just saying it. Nobody talks Backspacer. All right, now, I'm going to disappoint. So if you guys want to go take a bathroom break, Arnaldo, if you want to get some more grapes or whatever is going on backstage, we got you. I'm going to show you. Now, cornball it up. But if you don't have a copy of Saturday Night Fever, oh, I'm sorry, it has the insert. This is like one of the greatest albums of all time. It is killer Bee Gees. This is peak Bee Gees. It is culturally significant because it literally is a time capsule of a movie, let alone a soundtrack. And this is when soundtracks meant something. Like this was a companion piece that everybody had to a very important movie. So Saturday Night Fever and the White Tux. Let's go.
Yep.
Now, I got to shout out my man, the pride of Ferguson, Missouri, the Silver Fox, Michael McDonald. Let's go. If you cannot get this album for under $10,
my copy for $2. I bought my copy.
Yes, this is the cheapest of heat because this is, and look at the unibrow, my man coming in. This is when people did not care about unibrows because this is the shit. And what's the song on this one that everyone should know, David?
I keep forgetting.
Well, Arnaldo, yes. I keep forgetting. Sampled by Warren G.
Can't remember.
And it's actually a great sounding album too.
Yes, it's a great sounding album, and honestly, it's one of those ones that if for a period there it got past the $10 mark for some reason, and then I think it has finally receded back into its proper place of $8 to $10. But
that was when they reissued the Shaggy DA, and they thought that he was it.
That's right. Yes, Terry's right. Regulate. That's correct. All right, now Miss Whitney Houston. I think it's her debut album. I mean, this is something that
that's not always cheap. Lately,
really,
it's gone up in price.
So what let's see, about $20?
25. I bought when I bought mine, it was either 8 or 10. Now I've been seeing it for 25.
Yes, sir. I mean, it's speaking of, so to that point, what are Sade records going for in your area right now, Arnaldo?
20, 25.
Yes. I'm finding the same thing, kind of what you're talking about on Whitney Houston, getting past our little $20 threshold. Sade records used to be 5 days all day, $5 all day.
Oh, $5. I've never seen them for $5. Always
I'm just saying here in the country bumpkin Midwest, it was $5 for forever. And now, yeah, see, Terry's right. He sees it for under $5. I guess this is a regional thing because this is still a nice $10 all day. Sometimes you can get it. You can. Do you need a copy? Because I know when one of my locals has their tent sale, I can get you one for $2. I promise. Promise. And then here's where the people beat me up on the internet. And I didn't pay $5 for this. There's only one Grease movie that really matters, and that's Grease 2. Arnaldo, what if I told you that this movie kicks off with the Four Tops doing a rock song, Back to School? What if I told you? You want to hear the Four Tops with some vicious guitars? Back to School. You want to hear Michelle Pfeiffer looking for a cool rider? Grease 2. You want to hear Adrian Zemed trying to score at the bowling alley? This is the one. This is the one. So anytime I can flex some Grease 2. Now this one, I'm glad. I was worried Jason was going to show this because this is one that Jason played for me on our encounter in his domicile, and even Jose knew this one. I call Jose Ghost Day because Jose hasn't been on the program for a minute, so he's ghosting us. You know where I'm going, Jason. This is Beach Boys Love You. This is one that wasn't on my radar, admittedly.
I don't know that album.
You've never heard this?
I've seen the cover many times in the bins. I've always passed on it.
Well, Arnaldo, this can still be found for $15, pretty on average, and it's going to be your best $15 you probably spend that day.
Are Carl and Dennis still in the band?
Oh yes.
Okay.
And it's what Brian calls his favorite, right, Jason? His favorite album, ahead of its time.
Was Brian still in that? Was he still a member at the time?
Yeah.
Writing from the Sandbox?
Well, I don't know.
The album's supposed to be called
Yes. No, this is, I mean, seriously, when Jason, I mean, I think it's the textured cover too, but Jason played it for me and I couldn't believe what I was hearing because it was ahead of its time. This is what, 77?
It was Brian's favorite.
Yeah, Brian said in interviews, but he hit that Google machine. It's his favorite album. And this is the guy who did Pet Sounds, right? But anyway, ever since, it's like when you see something and then you never seen it before, but then you see it all the time. So this is one of those albums, kind of like what David was talking about, Steely Dan Greatest Hits. I see it, I pick it up, and I pass it on. It's one of those that it is good value. It's a great album and a delight. So, anywho, did I say Bleach Boys? That was a Freudian slip. That was it.
I missed one, by the way.
Oh, my man, hang on.
Yeah.
Well, when you say it's upside down, but when you say miss,
Jeez, Christopher Cross debut.
Yes. I mean, arguably one of the greatest debut albums of all time.
This
I mean,
needs
let's
an
be
audiophile
honest.
treatment.
I mean, chef's kiss. And when you think about, and I hate to say this, but when you think about the power of this beautiful music, when him and Michael McDonald collaborated, I mean, literally made the angels cry. It was so good.
And then the Doves. But anyway,
I'm sure it motivated Prince to because he was probably writing Purple Rain at the time. So that was like 83, 82, 83.
No,
so that probably
it was
came out
81, right? 80 or 81.
It was early.
It was either 80 or 81.
Now, if you watch the Yacht Rock documentary, they do too a lot of Christopher Cross. I will say that. See, the album's so hot, it's making David.
The song like Ride Like the Wind and Sailing.
Yes, Ride Like the Wind.
Sailing.
Sailing, yeah, it's got Ride Like the Wind, Sailing. I really don't know anymore, which was supposed to be a single that because it had Michael McDonald on
David,
as a
blurry.
backing vocal, and Michael's manager wouldn't let him release it because they said we're not going to let Michael carry Christopher Cross on another single. So, but that's a great single. It would have been, but yeah, it's a great album, and really well engineered and well produced.
And a debut album to boot.
Yep, in a debut. Yeah, one of the best.
That's why I like when people
it swept the Grammys.
Yeah, it was like album of the year is everything, song of the year, album of the year, everything. And that's why people, when they crack on Christopher Cross, I want to crack on those people because when you debut with literally the best album of the year and you sweep all the awards, I mean, there's nowhere else for you to go but down, of course. Like to measure up to that, I mean, that's good luck. So
I got a blurry camera.
Yes. You can get that for $2. I mean, if you're in the early stages of building a collection, I was talking to somebody today online that was asking for some feedback. This is where you go. If you really want to have a really good sounding collection, if you don't have Christopher Cross, what are you doing? And Jasmine Chris is right. My man's still touring. I am signed up to go see him this summer, as a matter of fact.
Yep, he'll be here. Yep, too. Yep.
Yeah, I would.
He's a great guitarist. He's a great guitarist.
You know, I've heard that. I saw someone else said that in the comments too.
Yeah,
so
he's a Lukather type. I mean, that class.
Well, if I remember correctly, he had a whole bunch of guest artists on his debut album because he used to tour and play with them. He was a touring and session musician, and that's how he got Michael McDonald, Nicolette Larson. There's so many. Is Jeff Porcaro on drums on that album?
I think so.
So there's so many like fantastic musicians because he knew them all from playing guitar as either touring musician or session musician.
I can't stress it enough. If you haven't seen the Yacht Rock documentary, it's a great use of your time because it talks about that period. It talks about how incestuous all these guys were, like working on each other's albums. I mean, it's a great, like, you know, remember that show Behind the Music VH1 used to do? It's like that on steroids. So and again, I mean, I can't believe I have to show this again, but I mean, legend. I mean, come on. Like literally bury me with this album. I'm saying it here on Surface Noise. All right. I think we really had a lot of fun with that one. I saw some good comments too. I think people are digging it. So maybe we'll do another round of Cheap Heat again. Shout out to Jeff because he really was one of those kind of like show topics that, you know, I kind of had on the back burner, but I thought, you know what, hey,
I'll go cheaper next time. I'll try and do the under $5.
We'll go for boilerplate cheap. Is that what we should do?
Hey,
I mean,
I fished out of a take whatever record you want from this bin in front of Academy. That was James Taylor's debut album. So Sweet Baby,
the Apple one.
Oh,
for free,
What?
and I gifted it to a friend.
Is that a green label? I forget. I
It
haven't
was
done.
a green label. I
It's a
pulled it
green,
out.
yeah.
It looked great. It was green. I'm like, do you have this? And no. Well, then you should have it. It's free. Worst comes to worst, it doesn't sound good, right?
The price is right. So Fluffy is asking. He said he's still looking for the Michael Fremer comedy album. Only one of us have it on the dais, and I can't. I saw one in the flesh once. I was down in Austin, and it was a gift from Baraka P Dub, I think.
Yes.
Anyway.
Just Mark is pointing out the Apple one was his debut album, the first album on Warner. I
Oh.
apologize. So I already got called out.
Well, hey, listen, hold us accountable because we, and I know
Apple's
we look like gods amongst men, but the reality is we're mere mortals. So Vinyl and Kicks 86 says surprise chance didn't show Huey Lewis. Here's the problem: Huey Lewis, I could have shown you Sports about 5 years ago as Cheap Heat. It is also in that Sade, Whitney Houston, like as the market has really just gone bonkers on used. Huey Lewis Sports is now a $20 plus album. So I would have loved to have shown it. Oh, I thought you left, Brent. So Tokyo Record Style says, I lived in South Dakota for a summer where my Volkswagen bus broke down and the mechanic who helped me rebuild my engine was named Rocky and claimed he was best buds with Michael McDonald. Well, I believe that because Michael McDonald is friends with all of us, if we think about it, through his voice, through his beautiful songwriting. I mean, think about the songs him and Kenny Loggins got together. Again, I could wax prophetically about the Silver Fox.
And I met him. He's a really nice guy.
Oh, yeah.
Really, really nice, down to earth, very friendly.
Salt of the earth, my man. All right. Well, I think we had a good run on the first part of the program. We're at what we call a hinge point that we'll go ahead and conclude hour one, the power hour. Put this on the podcast just after the show concludes. I think people like it that way. And then we'll get into, I don't know. I know Tom's here. He hates the word freestyle. How about bonus tracks? We'll get into bonus tracks coming up after this. But thank my guests. And you know the faces. You know the places. David, Safe and Sound Texas Audio Excursions, a channel. David, thanks for joining.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Cheap Heat himself, Jason Rojas. I think the Peanut Gallery has concluded you are the winner for the true definition of cheap heat. So, congratulations.
Just give these records a chance. You don't have to stream them. You know, come on.
Stream them. Don't dream them. Thank you, Jason. And then Arnaldo, a good showing, per usual.
I'll go cheaper next time.
We're going so cheap.
In New York, really, the price of records is the median is a little higher than the rest of the United States because of various reasons. So yeah, so I kind of readjust the term cheap for New York prices. So
yeah, we need to get out some kind of like math device to figure out what the New York inflationary
Premium.
are. Yeah, so we'll get that. Anyway,
We
Arnaldo.
know every record in LA is $4, according to Rob. So that's
well, at every estate sale, if you're chasing them, yeah. Anyway, Arnaldo, thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me, Concert Buddy.
Excellent, and that wraps up hour one. All right. Now we gotta do. This is where a nice little bumper would come in. One of these days, we're gonna have a nice little transition video where we do hair and makeup and wardrobe. Because right now, all we're gonna do. You ready for it? This is all we do right now. Pow.
Bam.
Pow. Pow. So Tom, if you're still here, High Rant District, we are potentially going to rebrand this. We'll see how it goes. Because some people say the freestyle should be nothing planned. But man, have you tried doing a freestyle with nothing planned? That's hard sometimes. Because sometimes those apples dry up. So we got to have a little bit of funk in the monk, so to speak, if he's here. So we'll see how it goes. I'm shopping here. Yeah, there you go. Mark Boyd. I'm shopping here. I like it. All right. Well, in the freestyle, one thing I thought would be interesting to talk about as I give you the banner is artists or bands that could have been bigger. So let me give you a little context. I'm going on a deep dive of trying to find songs or albums that I personally like that I don't know if they ever were on vinyl. This is part of what Jason has ruined me for 45s because I literally spent an hour and a half at my local show Sunday digging through 5 boxes of 45s like a homeless person, and I came out and they were like $1 a piece. So I mean, Jason probably was doing his DJ thing that morning and could feel like the pride.
Force. There was a disturbance in the force.
There was a service at Force. He's like, somebody must be digging through 45s. Who could that be? So that was me. And so as part of this journey, and I found some good stuff, but it's good stuff to me. I'm, 90s things and stuff that didn't get a proper vinyl release, but the song did. So I'm going to kick it off and you guys are going to laugh. And I'm sure, again, beat me up in the peanut gallery. But New Kids on the Block. You remember those guys? Who would you say arguably was probably the most talented of New Kids on the Block? No, Walter.
Okay,
Jordan.
Okay.
Yes, Jordan Knight. So Jordan Knight, even though Donnie is a good actor and he married Jenny McCarthy and he's probably winning at life, Jordan had the songs, he had the voice. So he had an album, I think it was 99, that pretty much went nowhere. But he had a song, Give It To You. And I remember that song that summer. It was a really good song. Never on vinyl. Well, there's a 12-inch, and it's only in Europe. And so hunt. Anyway, so as part of my pursuit, I was like, well, there's got to be other bands and artists. And I saw someone has a good one too, not the Steel one. Badfinger, another one. Badfinger, gosh, Cursed. I mean, is that, yeah, I know, yep, see, Jason's got it right here. Yeah, the debut. Badfinger, great band. But just for whatever reason, just never got off the ground. So do you understand the assignment? That's kind of where we're at. All right. So Arnaldo, you're nodding. I'm gonna lead off with you. It's like an artist or band that, in your opinion, should have been or could have been bigger.
Start off with the big guns. XTC.
Interesting.
From the ashes, they started off punk, right? Punkish, and then their Beatles side came out, influenced. This is probably their most successful album in the United States, Skylarking, only because the B-side was very popular. Dear God, they made a video of it and ended up slapping it on the US version. This is the UK version, which doesn't have it. But I think XTC should have been bigger. There's a great documentary on XTC that came out about 8 or 10 years ago. And yeah, they're just brilliant songwriters, musicians. And what kind of hurt them is that Andy Partridge, I want to say 2 albums before this one, or maybe the album before this one, I don't remember, developed stage fright and decided, it was right before Mummer, so I think it's the album before this one, decided that he didn't want to tour anymore and that he was only going to be a studio musician with the band. And I think that probably kind of didn't work to their advantage to not be able to tour and promote their records. But this is one of my probably my favorite of theirs, Skylarking, produced by Todd Rundgren, who locked them up in his barn in upstate Woodstock, supposedly, and bossed them around and told them what songs they were supposed to sing and how they were supposed to do them. There's a lot to read about this album and the relationship between Todd Rundgren and the band, but I think when the reissue came out, which when this came out, no one knew it, but they reissued it a few years later on double 45, and they found out that it was originally incorrectly mastered. And in there he writes an essay and basically said, time heals all wounds. Yes, he was tough on us. Yes, we had a horrible relationship, but he did a fine job producing us. So that's one band. We taking turns?
Yeah. David, you want to go next?
Go ahead. Let him get through yours. No,
empty the chamber. Empty the chamber, Arnaldo.
Okay. These guys are big. And they're very popular. Were very popular. Broke up, came back together. Nirvana stole their thunder, and I'm talking about the Pixies. They should have been bigger than Nirvana, and Kurt Cobain always referenced how he was influenced by the Pixies. And yeah, this is my favorite album of theirs. Probably the best album. Well, this came out in '89, right? I think it came out in '89. So Pixies should have been bigger. I mean, they're still together, but when their albums come out, no one really remembers. And
Arnaldo, before we move on,
Yeah.
BK says the Pixies were a shit live band. Have you seen them?
I saw them the last tour, and you should eat your words back.
Oh, Paul just got
Repressing
served. Oh my God, Paul.
The best show
How
I
did that
saw.
feel?
The best show I saw last year was watching the Pixies live.
In your face,
And
Paul.
the video that I took and is posted on my website doesn't do it justice, but maybe you can get a glimpse of how brilliant they still are.
Arnaldo's got backup in the form of
I
Brian.
do miss Kim Deal on bass. The new girl is good, but they can't play Gigantic, so boo-hoo. But the rest of the songs, they were on fire. So they're great now. Maybe they weren't at the time. I saw them with Kim Deal when they did the Doolittle anniversary tour. Was that the 25th, I think, or the 20th? And I got a chance to see him with Kim Deal. And now I didn't want to for many years because Kim Deal left. And I was like, what am I going to see them without Kim Deal? But I saw them and I had to eat my words. They were fantastic.
All right. What you got next?
And to wrap it up, a band from the 90s, Oasis got all the glory. They were like the working man's, right, band, working class band. Then you had the intellectuals that loved Blur, and poor Suede never really got a chance with their glam, let's say glam 70s Bowie-inspired drama. I prefer Suede over Blur and Oasis. They're still around. They made a great album just a few years ago, but this one is my favorite, Dogman Star. Bernard Butler, who was the singer, was a co-writer of all the songs. And the first two albums left after this album, but they continued with at least 3 or 4 more brilliant albums afterwards. So yeah, Suede should have had more success. And that's all I got.
Dogman Star is a masterpiece.
It is.
Okay. Vinyl and Kicks 86. Here to represent. All right. Well, Jason, we'll go with you next and we'll close. We'll go with Mr. Bianco after that.
This
Could have been
guy could
bigger.
have had a career in comedy. He just didn't have it with
God.
him, you know.
Michael
It didn't-
Fremer.
It just
Oh,
didn't take
no.
off the way he
Damn
thought.
you, Fluffy. Look what you've done. Come on.
He thought everyone could take a joke. He was wrong, you know. He had to pivot to audiophile. You know? Okay, let's be serious. It's okay.
They had to decipher the joke. That was the problem.
Correct. All right. Terry Reid. He never became the star that he should have been. You know?
That's a good one.
You know, River, right? This is mostly his jammed out record, you know? Man. Yeah, he recommended Robert Plant, you know? Oh, yeah, of course. You know, come on. Stuff.
I'm melting.
So if you've never heard Terry Reid, whoa. Man, you're missing out. Give it a chance. This is, I think, 1973? River. Amazing. I mean, he recommended Robert Plant. He's like, I can't join you, Jimmy Page. Contact my poor friend, Robert Plant. My poor friend.
Wow.
Ouch. All right, bands that never made it, right? Here we go, Behind Me. They were not big. The Sonics, they were just, maybe they were too raw for their time in the late 60s, you know? Oh, my God. That's true.
Yeah, KRWD says, Jason, you got more miles out of that album than Fremer ever did. Accurate.
Absolutely.
So these guys never made it with that raw garage rock sound, but in an alternative, you know, multi-universe, right? Multiverse, they would have been huge, right?
What do you think prevented them from? Is it just wrong place, wrong time, or what do you think was the headwind they ran into?
Well, I think at the time they were just too raw, too energetic. You know, it's too much for people. They wanted that more Beatles, safe sound, you know.
I
Same
think
thing
it was
goes.
the Cold War.
Same thing goes with this band behind me. Oh, the
Yeah.
New York Dolls.
Rest in peace,
Rest in
David
peace.
Johansen. Yes, that's a
Right,
good call.
right. This is too much for parents. They could not handle this. They would not be able to take this. I mean, if you look at this, this is, whew.
It's a lot. It's a lot. But if you think about it, there would not have been 80s hair metal without them. I mean, Motley
Correct.
Crue, everybody, Poison emulated what they were doing with the New York Dolls.
Yep.
Good
They
call.
were just too raw again for that time, right? Too much. Too much too soon, right?
That's true. Wrong place, wrong time.
And what else? I'll show one more record, right? Here we go. Rest in
Uh-oh.
peace to Bill Fay. Now, this record would never be popular because, I mean, this guy looks like Charles Manson here. This is not, you know, and the title is called Time of the Last Persecution. I mean, can you imagine being at a store? Hey, what are you picking up? I'm picking up the new Bill Fay, Time of the Last Persecution. Ouch. Nah. Not going to happen. So, what is this record? It's actually like a folk record, but with some psychedelic overtones on it. So, again, if you like that dark folk, try this. Give this a chance. Bill Fay, Time of the Last Persecution.
How
Rest
long
in
ago did
peace.
it come out on Record Store Day? One of the earlier ones?
This came out like 4 years ago,
Oh, only 4 years ago. Okay.
like the reissue. Yeah, RSD. Yeah. That's all I got. I mean, I could say King Crimson, but let's not go there.
Well, I got a request. Can you pull the Badfinger off the wall? Because to me, this is one of the most ringwear records you'll ever see. Straight up, the debut. Honestly, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, like this one was made for ringwear. Is yours a hole punch too? Look at you.
That's a sticker. You know,
Oh,
somebody
got
tried
it.
to
Okay.
put it on there.
Now this is a record that isn't incredibly hard to find. I mean, it's not easy to find, but it's not incredibly hard to find. But it's harder to find without ringwear. Like this one
In
was
good
built-
condition, it's really
And,
hard.
well,
to
in
find.
good condition too. That's a fair
Yes.
point, too. But yeah, this is one of those ones that, to me, I don't know if you guys feel differently, is like essential listening.
Oh yeah.
I don't have that.
Well,
That's like the Zombies record you got. It's as essential as that.
yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Well, Arnaldo, I might be able to help you with that because this is one of those ones that if you find a good copy, I'll see if I can find
thank
it.
you.
Yeah, me too.
I actually don't see it very often. I see
Really?
the other ones.
Yeah.
What are they doing at record stores in New York? I gotta ask.
Let's mention them. The other record, the first one, the one that has almost like the Miro kind of, or the Dali kind of album cover with like the drawing on it.
Yeah.
That one I see, and the other one, but I don't see that one as much.
You don't want the carrot, the one.
Yeah,
carrot.
exactly. Yeah.
And what is this? Is this the Fat Boys? What is this album?
I'll show one more. Why not? This is the Soft Boys. So if you like power pop with an edge, this record from, I think, what is this? Maybe 79 or 80.
And what's
So
the
if you
title
like-
of the album?
Significant shrinkage.
So if you like power pop with an edge, and Robin Hitchcock was in this band, right? This is great. Underwater Moonlight. I mean, this is what happens when you stay in the VC too long.
I think I know that guy and
Yeah.
that gal. Yikes! No, that's funny. I like it.
It's a maestro.
It was that the inspiration for the Land of Confusion video, 1986, with Genesis.
Oh,
And just-
jeez.
Jeez.
No.
Same kind of technology. I think they're using on
Yeah,
the
right.
facial.
Exactly.
All right. Good call. All right, Mr. Bianco. Good showing,
All
Jason.
right. I'm going to
What do you got?
surprise everybody, I'll bet you. They're gonna be
If you
surprised.
show a rap record, David, I'm just going to end the stream. If you show a rap record right now.
No, it won't be a rap.
All right, fair enough.
So a couple of these you might say, well, they were pretty big, but I think they could have been bigger. Okay, that's so UFO.
I love that cover. That's an amazing cover.
It's a great album.
Okay.
It's got Love to Love. I don't know if you ever heard that track, but it's a,
No.
a power ballad.
Uh-uh.
It's a great album. So UFO Another U, Ultravox. This is probably stuff nobody would think I would listen to, but
Hey, David's got an edge, believe it or not. Now, we're going to see how deep the edge goes with these records right now, but
and you probably guys know this one, Mute Mats, definitely should have been bigger.
sure. Yeah, you like them.
Young the Giant, a newer band in the 2000s.
Oh, okay.
Love Young the Giant.
Not familiar with that.
Walk the Moon.
Okay, What If Nothing? Yeah, I'm not familiar.
Nothing.
Not familiar with that.
Do they sound like Young the Giant? Like I'm
Yeah,
trying
they
to
have similar. These
similar kind of
last three sound. These last three are kind of like indie bands,
Sure.
I'd call them. And then the last one is Two Door Cinema Club.
Yes, I like those guys.
Yep. So something a little different, not my usual classic rock 60s kind of
Look
stuff.
at David. Listen, it's the ones you least expect. Well
Yeah.
done.
Surprising us.
Look at that. Hey, full of surprises, even on this show. All right, let's look at some of the great recommendations. So Michael Tedder is here. He said Betty Davis should have been bigger than she was. She was ahead of her time. I agree with that.
You've seen her dresses. She couldn't have get any bigger.
I think I threw this one up earlier. Music in the House says, I'm going to say Jellyfish needed more love at the time of grunge, but they were grunged out. What's grunge as a verb? That's a good. I've never used that as a verb, but grunged out. I like the sound of that. And Terry said the same thing. Jellyfish, Prefab Sprout, and the Blue Nile, which I think we'll talk about here in a second when we show hopefully pickups. Were very well respected, but should have been bigger. So I agree with that. Mark Boyd, Television. You can make a case for Television. I think that's fair. I don't know this one. Black Francis is doing awesome stuff right now. Anybody familiar with Black Francis?
No.
Black Francis is in the Pixies.
Oh, I see. Got it.
Black Francis.
Teenage Fan Club. We got a vote for Teenage Fan Club from Jim T. Hello, Jim. Welcome. See, this is what the show is about. We got Royal Trucks. Look at this. I like it. Yeah, see, look, David, people are noticing. Yeah, your buddy Novice Nick says David is stepping out. See?
Yeah.
Full of surprises. That's why I thought maybe he's going to pull some Public Enemy or something like that. Just totally just throw us off.
Even I have my limits.
Fair enough. Morphine. Okay, JK. That's
Russell put up American Music Club, another great band.
Oh, I got either Moonlight, Russell, or
Oh, farther up in the
Oh man, I'm really well behind. Sorry guys. Let's. Oh. Oh man, I can't find it. Where are you, Russell? Well, it's there somewhere if I can find it.
It's right under Luna.
Hang on, right under Luna. Oh, this one?
No, keep going.
Holy, yeah, Russell's got a lot of in him here.
Yeah, a lot of them. Probably one of his last ones.
Let's go. Sorry, Russell. I'm totally ruining it.
I just named it. American Music Club, another great band.
Well, there it is. Bam. Got you, Russell. Boom. American Music Club. Tremendous. Luna. Okay. Yeah, some of that. See, this is good. I've never heard of a few of these. This is good. All right. Well, that was a fun segment. Current events. Is there anything in current events? We'll close with recent pickups because I know that people like to see that kind of stuff. But anything in the land of current events that is worth talking about? I know there's been some conversation about the New York Times Chad Kasem piece. It was a nice
Vinyl Wizard.
The Vinyl Wizard of Kansas. Wasn't that the title?
Vinyl Wizard of Kansas.
Yeah.
And it's worthy of repeating the quote.
Oh, you got it queued up?
Oh yeah, I got to look it up.
Well, we were talking about it earlier, David and I, and I think it's if you were to ideologically say that Mr. Kasem and the New York Times are polar opposites, I think that'd be a generous description. So it was a good piece. It was a good look for him, and I think if people didn't know, now they know, because I think that the New York Times does have a significant reach. So I think that was all in all, it was good. Oh, now Vinyl Piper bringing some current events. Fraction Moonblood. Now you've been on this. I saw your social media. Chris, you were taking a big, what we call a dump on some record store trying to get a G plus copy for a beat up G plus copy for for some Fat Stacks. Is that the one you're talking about for $4,500, or is that the one at Rockaway? Rockaway had one, which cheap plug. Vinyl Community Podcast. Spins and we interviewed Wayne Johnson from Rockaway. You'll see it on the channel Sunday, but it's on the podcast now. Check your local listings. Yes, Arnaldo. The quote is:
So, in addition to Buy Now, Cry Later,
Mm.
we can add to the memorable quotes by Chad Kassam. If you do it the best, you only cry once.
I read the a lot of crying going on in the world of Mr. Kassam. I don't
Sounds
know.
like a Hootie and the Blowfish album. A lot of crying going on.
Question from the gallery. Music in the House asks: is tomorrow the Rhino Hi-Fi?
No,
announcement?
it's next
No.
week, next
14.
Friday.
Next
14.
week. Well, yes. So check your local listings. I'm sure Mr. Westman probably has the announcement exclusive on that one. But if you read the tea leaves, you can probably figure things out.
If you paid close attention.
If you were following the program closely, you can probably maybe surmise what may debut. I don't have any more obvious than that. All right. Any current events? Let's see. Record Store Day is coming up. I know that's down the pipe. I know people are sick of hearing us talking about that, so we won't talk about that. Trying to think. Do we know ship date on those Bob Marley UHQRs? No idea. No one knows. Just take our money.
No, he just took our money. Now he's going to make us wait 2 years, like he did the people that pre-ordered the Steely Dan. No, well, he didn't take the money at the time, but in this case, he did.
Well, in certain
So buy
cases,
the bundle, you
if you
prepay.
did the bundle, you had to pay up. Yeah. So, yeah. What is this? So live in Pompeii IMAX and first ever pressing of the soundtrack. New information. Thanks, Chris. I like that.
Although the Steven Wilson remix may be a letdown.
Come on. We got to say spoiler alerts, Dave. We don't want to ruin that's
Okay,
killing.
spoiler alert, the Steven Wilson remix may be a letdown.
Fair enough.
Samples I've heard.
Fair enough. All right. Well, should we just launch into what you got to give the people what they want? Recent pickups. Is everybody prepared for this? I'm actually prepared. I can lead on.
I got to step away. So while you guys show,
I got to get
All
the
right,
blonde from the living room. I'll be right
Your
back.
seats are
I'm
ready,
gonna step
Chance.
away from
Go
the-
ahead first. We're all stepping away.
I'm coming correct. Hold up.
I didn't see this on the homework. I missed that.
Well, we got to keep the people satisfied all the time. All right, hang on. Oh, everybody went off screen. I'm the only one that had my records in everybody. Look at that. Bonus points for me. All right, let's do this. Oh, hang on. This is before we get into that. Music in the House says the canceled Prince documentary director Ezra Edelman did not have nice things to say about the Prince estate. Interesting. I can't say I'm surprised. There's a lot of people trying to make a lot of money on it. All right. Well, I gotta wait for the guys to show up because this is showing pickups / flex / make fun of each other. I mean, this segment has a lot of value. So David's back. Let's see, Rhino Piper asked David, can I send you my OG soundtrack bootleg of Pompeii and the new Steven Wilson remix, and you do a sound comparison? David, do you accept the
Yes,
challenge?
sir. I will do that.
All right, look at that.
Chris, absolutely.
Boom. Oh, hang on. JKL says, unpopular opinion, but I like the echoes off Pompeii better than the original, even though it's edited. Gilmore's solo is fire.
I tend to agree with that.
All right. We'll see. Look, everybody getting along nice. This is good. All right. Everybody's back. So,
Make us cry.
I'll start. Listen, if you follow Concert Buddy on the Instagram, which you should, check your local listings. You know that I brought this guy home where he belongs. Vanilla Ice to the extreme.
I thought you had that already.
I did not. I had the single. Record Store did that Ice Ice Baby as a single 12-inch, but only in Europe. This is a European only for the full album. So if you want to play that funky music, which is a terrible cover, but probably the only other song known, obviously, outside of Ice Ice Baby. This has been on Willis over a decade, and I was stubborn, and I was like, I'm gonna find it in the wild. I'm gonna find it in the wild. You know what? I didn't find it in the wild. So I finally found a dealer over, I think it was in Sweden, who seemed fair and only charged me $6 to ship it. I thought it was a scam. And I was like, $6 from Sweden?
You bought it off of Stunty?
It was not Stunty. It was not our friend Special C. It wasn't Special C. But anyway, so that was kind of fun. Next one I'll show is, this one's kind of fun. Oh, don't do that. So I haven't listened to this yet. I just got it this week as a pre-order that sold out very quickly. Felipe, if he's here again, help me procure this one. So this is the anniversary edition of Dr. Dre 2001. Those are, let's call them vegetables on the cover. But what I really thought was very interesting in terms of how they did this is this baggie is part of the full packaging presentation. And if you have ever dabbled in the marijuanicas, sometimes the marijuanicas comes in the Ziploc bag, and I think that they really did a nice, if I can get it out here. So the bag is part of the overall packaging presentation. So not something that I needed to have, but I'm very curious how this will measure up against my original. So I'm not the shootout man, but I will definitely report back what I think about this. So I thought that was fun. Interscope. Interscope is still using the shitty mailers. They literally, even though they shipped at FedEx, it was basically a redheaded stepchild of a Uline mailer. So wasn't happy about that, but here we are. It's a fun one. The meters. Illumination. This is a good one. Got this for $25. My local had it. Clip Corner. I mean, if you can find, as long as the disc is good on any Meters album, that's a win because the jackets are generally beat to shit. How about, and I have to preface this, I was kind of on a vinyl diet. I know people say I need to go on a real diet, but I was on a real vinyl diet the last, call it 6 weeks. And then right at the end of February, I just started looking into a bunch of stuff. Stuff like Arrested Development's debut album, 3 years, 5 months, and 2 days. I don't see this one too often. In the Shrink with Hype. Shout out to Travis Foley for selling me that one. He had it at the Metro East Record Show. And then what do we got here? Oh, I'm going to go a little bit bigger here in a second. Lupe Fiasco. This album, Vinyl Me Please did a reissue of this album not too long ago, and it really helped bring the value down. This is a little bit worn copy of Food and Liquor. It has a Kick, Kick, Push. It's probably the main song people would know off of this one. But I did a bundle deal. The guy selling this one also had an album that is on my list. And some would say it's one of the harder Townes Van Zandt records to find on Poppy, Delta Mama Blues. So as people, fans of the Concert Buddy program network have noticed that the Townes Van Zandt on Poppy is on my hit list this year. And so this one I thought was going to be the hardest one to find, and it popped up and in very good condition. So made a nice bundle deal with that in the Lupe record. Oh, and Arnaldo, you ready? I did have to share this one with Arnaldo. So we've got, talking about hats from Blue Nile. This is a UK. And this one was just happenstance because I bought the reissues. Yeah, see, I got Jason and Arnaldo doing the thumbs up. Just one of the guys at my local show had literally been at another record show the day before and traded for it. He didn't even know what he had. He's like, I know this is worth something, but what do you think? And, we worked out a very gentleman's price. And, yeah, so I knew Arnaldo would give me the double thumbs up on this one. So I do have, like I said, I do have the reissue they put out, last year or year before. I bought it, and it's okay, but I'm really excited to listen to that one. Now, where my grunging? Is that the verb we started? Grunging. So it's not my end copy. My end copy is the 320 German, which Too Many Records apparently got another copy of recently. But I picked up another copy of Super Unknown from Soundgarden. I did not have the blue. So this came out when it came out in 94. It came out on 3 variants, a clear, an orange, and a blue. I have the clear. The Hype sticker obviously helped sell it to me. Shout out to Half Price Books. It's very rare that Half Price Crooks.
You're kidding me. They had that?
Wow, that's amazing.
You found that at Half Price Books?
I found it behind. So whenever you're at the checkout, always look
Is it legit
behind.
or is that a
Yeah, behind there's a crates. They have
Yeah,
crates.
yeah. It was literally, David, you're right. It was literally in a unmarked box, and it
What?
was in a box with calendars. We just happened to be waiting in line, and I was like, "Are those records?" And so my wife's like, "Why don't you just ask them to look at it?" Good call. So I asked them. They pulled the box down. I looked through it. They had Justice for All, First Pressing. They had a lot of high heat in there, and that, I mean, I wasn't cheap. Don't get it twisted, but
Yeah.
yeah. So, but here's what I did. So this was like late at night on a Friday. I didn't have my coupon. Bring your coupon to Half Price Books, but Half Price Books will hold a piece for 5 days for you before they put it back onto the floor. So I asked them to hold it for me. Went home, got my coupon next day, and saved a little catch-all on that.
I
Plus,
keep my coupons in my car.
well, you get the calendar, and I generally keep those in my wallet, but I just hadn't got around for whatever reason, didn't have them on me. We just dropped by. It was just a drop by. I'm like, oh, let's go to Half Price Books. We had dinner in the area. Let's just check it out. And they even had, maybe I'll talk about on the channel, but they had a lot of like dead stock $3 records. I picked up some Casey and Sunshine Band, this goofy stuff just for fun, that kind of stuff. And then Jason's got to be back because I was texting with Jason about this. Well, see, it doesn't do it justice because I was texting with Jason. So this is what some would call, I'll try to get the glare out. This is Milton Nascimento. And this is, I'm going to mess up the pronunciation. If Felipe is here, he'd probably kick me.
Jazz from Felipe recommended that record to me.
Well, this is what some would say. Yeah. So I got it. Yeah, I got it. This is not an original. So an original mono goes for like $1,000. That's not happening. Concert Buddy's not doing that. Stereo is going to get you north of $500 or $600. This is a reissue. Actually, Jefferson, I think you're selling this copy. It's a 76. I saw on Discogs. That's how I knew. when Jefferson's got it and selling it, that kind of put it over. But I was texting with Jason and just asking him, like, hey, this is more in my price range where I probably should be on a record like this as I'm emerging and developing my interest and understanding of the Brazilian music scene. Tim Maia is my guy. I've said it before. But anyway, this is like one of the most, I would say, iconic album covers. Because when you see this, like you definitely know you've seen this record. You probably just don't know what it is if you see it. And when you'll see it high on the wall or behind glass because this is a good one. So one of my locals had this. I mean, they circled the damn song numbers, but okay, what are you going to do? But yeah, one of my locals, this is the third reissue. And sounds good. But yeah, I was texting with Jason and be like, hey, is this a good price? And he's like, well, if you could do this. I did take some records and got a little bit of money, not with them, but through Half Price Books. So it helped kind of aggregate, get my price down a little bit. But yeah. So anyway, makes up for the vinyl diet I was on in January and beginning of February. I kind of
Bloated once again.
Listen, I'm on a seafood diet. I got to eat it. Same thing with records. Once I see the titles, I got to go. So, all right. Who would like to go next? Arnaldo, you're next in. With Ribbit.
All right. Brooklyn shopping spree on the weekend. Well, let's get this one out of the way first. It's a new release. Jason has it behind the wall. Was on the fence about getting it on vinyl. And Cindy Lee, I streamed the album many times in the last 6 months. First available now. And I have to say, I enjoy the record more than I enjoy the stream. It added a whole different, do you agree, Jason?
Oh, yes.
A whole other dimension to the listening experience on vinyl. I don't know. I enjoy it a lot more on vinyl than I did when I was streaming it. So it's a long record, very enjoyable. It's very chill. But yeah, I think a lot of people have already talked about Cindy Lee. So that was the only new record I got. And then let's go through the used. Can we show a little bit of nudity?
Well,
it's art.
It's too late.
Yeah. Hey. What if I cover it up? Does that count? No, I guess.
It's art. Come on. Tin Machine, David Bowie, the second album.
Sure.
Original pressing. So very happy to have found this.
Keep moving it so that the YouTube can't focus on the.
Yeah, let's go like this. So
the Beans and Franks. Yeah, okay.
I also have the rear.
Oh no, no, God, here we go.
Beans
think I made
and
it better.
beans.
Well,
Beans and
it was
weenies.
nice having a YouTube channel for a
So
second.
now this one I'll cover because it may get you in trouble. So more nudity.
My God, Arnaldo, is this filth hour or what's going on here? Okay, all right.
The Pixies, the 12-inch of Gigantic, which I only discovered that it is a different version than the one that's on the album. Gigantic is a different version, so one of my favorite Pixie songs, and couldn't pass UK pressing. So happy to find that. And I think I traded some records for these. And
Is this Academy? Were you doing a lot of this at Academy or somewhere else?
where did I trade? I traded at Human. I think it was Academy. It wasn't at Human Head. It was at Academy. And my favorite one, probably one of my two favorite Nick Cave albums, the UK pressing at Captured Tracks. I think I got this. Yeah. Excellent condition. I love this album. And mono 2i of the Byrds, Mr. Tambourine Man. It sounded way too good to leave it there. So that's the good thing. I do pass on a lot of records that I grab a stack and then I go to play test them. I was like, I'm putting this is going back. This is going back. This I could not pass up on. Very nice. Then I have a US pressing, and I love the so much that I couldn't pass up the UK pressing. Another mint condition and at a fantastic price. I've seen this on Discogs and other places, probably twice the price. So very happy to have found this. And the last one, Chance gave me some advice on, and I am very glad that I took his advice and I grabbed the Chronic, Dr. Dre's, the 86, not the 82.
96, not the 92.
I'm sorry, 96, not 92. Same matrix, same plates. So essentially it's the same. The only thing is that you have the little Death Row logo on the back and the Death Row logo on the labels as well. So
both mastered by Bernard Grundman.
yes.
Some call him Bernie Grunderman, but it's the same guy. Just to let you know.
And this was from a few weeks ago. Was it 2 weeks ago? A store that Groove Seeker Chris said, oh, on your way back, you have to stop there. And I had only a half hour. I made it work, and I pulled out a Morrissey promo 12-inch of November Spawns a Monster. And that's all I got.
I mean, it's funny. I thought of you this weekend. You probably felt my presence out of nowhere because seeing a lot more Morrissey 12 inches lately since now that is.
Always feel free to hit me up because
Yeah.
I have all of the Smiths ones, the majority. I'm
Right.
missing a handful. But Morrissey, I don't have that many. So hit me up whenever you come across them.
That's probably my bad because the Blue Nile guy had some, so I probably should have. That's my bad. I failed.
It's okay.
Next time. Next time. All right, Bianco, you're looking at your watch. Do you? I mean,
No, I'm not. It's just sitting there.
all right, let's
I'm
go.
not looking at it. It's just sitting there.
All right, fair enough. Roll it
Yeah,
out.
I got some that are 12-inch. I've been picking up 12-inch singles a lot lately.
See, there
Phil
you go.
Collins, Hang In Long Enough from But Seriously.
Josie Records representing. I see.
Yeah. Take Me Home, Phil Collins. Harrison, When We Was Fab.
Oh, nice. Is
That's a
that
hard one to find.
a European pressing? I don't think they.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, top side, 45 RPM.
Nice.
I found two of these, and they're the same. And I've actually got another one. But if you ever haven't heard that song, "Once Upon a Long Ago" by McCartney, it's a long song, 7 minutes, really good. But they had different flip side songs for some reason. So, yeah, so I bought both of those. I got a
Love it.
Take Me Away 12-inch McCartney. Power of Love, Huey Lewis. Yeah.
About time. Let's go.
Duran Duran, Notorious.
Good song.
And Bruce
Were these
Hornsby
all
in
at
the
Josie?
Rain. Sorry?
Were these all at Josie?
Yeah.
Nice.
And Bruce Hornsby in the Range, Mandolin Rain.
See, we're giving David crap for not going in the bins, but you got to go in the bins at Josie with those 12 inches. I mean, they're just all over the place.
This might seem like a weird one, but I got a backstory on it. So this is Neil Diamond's greatest hits on MZA, but it's a DBX version on LP. And if you ever see even the regular version of this, it is an unbelievable sounding record. I've never heard his stuff sound like this. But I've been looking for this, and they wanted $80, and the guy sent me a thing, said, will you buy it for 50? And I said, yep. So I bought it. It was sealed.
Hey.
So David, what is this DBX? Can you
DBX is there were discs that were made, and what they did is they do the DBX compression and they cut the record that way. So it sounds a little tinny on a regular turntable, but when you use the DBX expander, then it expands it out and it gives it a much bigger dynamic range, because the cut it does is not very wide at all. So it basically takes it and basically allows it to be able to be played through a decoder, and then you get a fuller dynamic range than you do with a standard record that's cut like that.
And you have
Jefferson
one?
would like to ask,
Yeah.
do you have the DBX decoder?
Yeah, I have several of them. Yeah.
So what if you play a record that's not designed for that? It sounds like crap.
Well, you shut that button off.
Oh.
Now you can. The model I have does have a dial. You can actually do the same thing with a standard signal, and what it does is it lowers the noise floor and raises the impact as you expand it. But if you do it too much, it has like a breathing effect. You know what I mean? And you don't want that. But it definitely can add kick even to. But the DBX disc one is a fixed compression level, and you push a button for that. But it definitely makes a difference. They made about 30 different titles, I think.
I have never seen a title with that.
Yeah, Heart
That's a
Dreamboat
sticker?
Annie I have as well.
Is that a sticker
really
or is
neat.
that on the artwork?
That's a sticker on the record.
On the record.
Yeah, there's a standard super disc that's not DBX, and there's and then there's this one.
Well, I was gonna say the super disc at the banner is usually blue from when I've seen it. Is it just
Right.
depending on the title?
Yeah. This is one that's black.
Excuse my ignorance. Are the super disc all digitally cut?
No, these are all analog.
They aren't. Okay.
Oh yeah, these are from pre-digital, really. Yeah.
Another follow-up.
Yeah,
So a dedicated decoder or through your quad system, David?
No, it's a dedicated decoder. Yeah, and it's Direct Disc Labs is who made these. Yeah. So that's one I've been looking for a long time.
Follow-up, David. What's your favorite Neil Diamond song? And why
Sweet
is it
Caroline, of course. Right.
Oh, really? Wow. Did you ever see that movie? Was it Saving Silverman? Tell me you've seen that movie.
The what?
Saving Silverman. You ever seen the movie? It's got
No.
Jason Biggs, Jack Black. They're a Neil Diamond tribute band. Oh
No.
all right.
Send me the link for that or something.
It's
so
a
I
good
can look at
comedy.
it.
Yeah. All right.
I do think The Jazz Singer is a great album, though. By the way,
Oh,
I've got a
sure,
MoFi of it. It's
Agreed.
amazing. Found a promo of Yes. Which one is this? Tornado. White label promo. Got a.
Now keep in mind, everyone, David's trying to downsize his collection. I just want.
Yeah, that's right. Is a Doors box. It's got the mono LP by Bernie Grundman and 3 CDs. Here's the weirdest stuff. Okay, I'm doing a video on this, but I'll share this now. So this is, I think, Phil Collins' last album. It's kind of hard to find, but seriously,
Yes.
DMM, great album. Okay, it is a great album. The
Yeah.
reason it was cut DMM is it's 28 minutes on one side and 23 minutes on the other. That's why it was cut DMM. But
It has
then,
another day in paradise on it.
Right,
From
exactly.
that, yeah.
but then they came out. Miles Showell did a half speed on it with an older photo.
I love that. This is, to me, this is a fun reissue series because all the albums had
Right.
older Phil Collins on them. I of course have them because I'm a sucker. But
So they recut this half speed, and it's on 2 LPs at 33 RPM, but the order of the songs does not match the original.
Well,
I
which
have
sounds
never
better?
seen anything. Yeah, I was doing a shootout. First song matched. The next one, I'm like, what the F? I didn't look at all the times to see exactly why they
I've
might have.
honestly never noticed that, David. It's interesting you bring that up. Didn't notice.
Yep. Yeah. But anyway, this album's a $40 album, the original. And I got one from Sweden, a UK one.
Mhm.
And it was like, I think I paid $6 or $8 shipping too, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, I was fortunate. I found it for $5 in Columbia, Missouri. But yeah, it's north of $20, $30, $40 all day.
Yeah, all day. And I got an original UK of Teaser and the Firecat, Island Records,
Oh, nice. Pink rim.
for $10.
Wow. Really? That
Yeah.
seems like a bargain.
It was. Yeah. That's it, guys.
Nice. All right, Jason. New
You
pickups.
know, David, that was totally that last record. That's cheap heat right there. $10.
Yeah.
Cat Stevens is good. Sure, I'll just show a few real quick. If you like esoteric stunty music, I mean, I'm just kidding.
Oh
here.
boy,
If you like ambient music, this is Vincent Gallo and Harper Simon. So if you
Vincent
like
Gallo, the
atmospheric-
director.
Oh yes.
Oh boy.
And Harper Simon, the son of Paul Simon.
You got it. So again, if you like atmospheric ambient, this is their band, Butterfly, Music of the Butterfly. And guess who cut this? Who mastered it? Who cut it? Is it on there?
Uh-oh.
Can't read it. You gotta make
Dave
it.
Black. Is it Dave Black? My favorite engineer.
No,
is it? I
it was
can't read
Bernie
Evan Gray.
Grunderman.
Was it?
Bernie Grunderman.
Oh, Bernie Grunderman again. Bernie Grunderman is back in the building. Everyone.
So
The Bee
yeah,
Gees.
that's right. So if you're into atmospheric ambient Eno style, this Harper Simon, Vincent Gallo, pretty
Wow.
good. Michael 45 showed this way, way, way back in the day. My friend, he owns Nimbus West. This is the spiritual jazz of Linda Hill, Lullaby for Linda. This is the OG. So I finally got a copy for cheap.
Is this locally
you're-
or did you get online?
Online.
Okay.
But he was selling it real quick for $50, so I had to take him up on it. Had to. So if you're into spiritual jazz, Linda Hill, Nimbus West, shout out to Nimbus West. And should I show the cheap one or the expensive one?
You should.
Which one?
Let's
Show 'em
go
both.
cheap. Yeah. Well, he's gonna show both, but let's go
Show 'em
cheap
both.
first because we're a bunch of cheap fucks around here.
So this is actually Robert Plant's favorite band from the United States, the Youngbloods. This is, I think, their second record, Earth Music. So if you're familiar with this sort of like laid back organ, keyboard, psych jazz, Earth Music,
Is that the band that played Come Together?
Get Together.
Get Together. Yeah. And it was RCA. Is there on RCA?
Yes. Yeah.
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 I
And
just
this
saw
is
that
like-
album last week. It's funny. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, if you're into sort of that like
What's his
kinda
name?
trippy
Is in the
jazz,
Youngbloods?
Jesse
Jesse
Colton Young or
Colton
whatever.
Young.
Thank
Yep.
you. Thank you.
I
And
mean,
okay. But what is, you brought it up, what is Robert Plant's favorite record?
he likes Elephant Mountain, which I think
No.
is the third or the
No,
fourth
favorite
record.
all-time record.
Yes. Yes.
No.
Really?
Yeah. Love Forever Changes.
Oh, I guess we'll call Robert Plant up. We'll text
Yeah,
him
we
now.
should. We should get him a chance. Can you please get him on the line?
Hold please. Hey, Jason, Terry wants to have a listening party. He says, bring that spiritual jazz over for a listening
Sure,
session.
of course.
So,
Yeah, definitely. I'll bring this at the next meetup. And the expensive record. I didn't know this thing had an insert. It kind of made me angry. It sat there for a while. I thought about
no.
not buying it or
You
buying
did
it.
it. Oh.
And here it is.
Oh, man.
Talk about a ringwear record right here. Yeah.
Correct. Trout Mass replica,
Oh,
Captain Beefheart.
man.
and
But
his
no
magic
insert,
band.
huh?
What are you talking about? It has the insert.
Oh,
Let's
okay. I
go
thought I misheard you then.
look at it together, you know.
That's the hardest
Yes.
part, man.
Young boy Van Fleet. you know.
Is that Art, North Carolina vinyl picker? Art, are you still here? They've got your picture on here, bud.
And then he drew another picture. This is an abstract picture of him, you know. Gosh.
Looks like he has
I
a
didn't know
dookie coming out of his face, but yeah.
I didn't know it had the lyrics. I was like listening to this and like reading the lyrics. I'm like, I don't know. What am I doing here? What am I doing here? Which, again, very interesting, you know, having the insert for Trout Mass Replica. I had no idea it had it, so, man.
Was that a local find or another online buy?
Local. They had it at Antone's. It was actually, I let it sit there for like a couple weeks, and then I was like, you know what? I think I'm going for it.
Did you trade?
Nope, I did not.
Did you haggle? Did you haggle?
I wanted to, but I was like, I don't know if I'm in the mood for this. Like, let me just take it.
We needed Jose. We needed to phone a friend. Jose would have haggled over the phone for you.
Of course, he probably would have. You know? But the thing is, like, when I took it there, they were like closing, and then they were kind of like, oh man, they like stopped me. They're like, you're buying the best record here. I'm like, what? I'm not buying the best record. Like, you have a signed Towns Van Zandt record there for like $1,000, you know? And they just chuckled, you know.
So I even forgot. Savers. You guys talked about Savers in the past.
Did you find it?
I found one in Long Island last year. We were dropping stuff off at Goodwill, and we're like, there's a Savers close by. Can we go? They had records. They had that record. And the cover was the cover, but there was another record inside.
Huh.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
I forgot what record.
You thrifting bastards. Yeah.
So you could have bought it for the cover. Was it expensive at Savers?
No, but you know, it was split already. Like it had seam
Oh.
splits, and I'm like, I can't even buy this for the cover.
Yeah, I found a second press at a different local, but I'm holding out.
I'm happy. I'm happy
Yeah,
with the third man.
Hang on, Arnaldo. Well, hang on, Arnaldo. Did you just say you were happy with a third man pressing?
I have to say that record was really well pressed.
Okay, all right.
And it's
Congratulations.
probably one of the most beautiful records that I have. It's multicolored. Have you seen it, right? The third man pressing?
I've seen it.
It's beautiful. And it came with the tote bag. It came with the other insert.
It remind me of Vault. This is a Vault one.
Yeah,
right?
the Vault one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm very happy with it. And I was a little hesitant, but I was like, you know what? Let's take a gamble. Flawless. I've only played it twice because I'm kind of banned from playing it. It's too crazy for some people to listen to.
When you say banned, does that mean that Domestic Bliss is on the rocks if you begin to play that?
Yes.
It's a headphone album, right?
Yes. The comment was 3 songs into it. What is this?
Yeah, I got that when I was playing Pharaoh Sanders one time from my my lovely bride, and then I put on headphones. Yes. Now this is a pro tip. Terry says next time take the cover up to the counter and they'll probably just let you have it. That's true. I've done that before. Just as a, what are you gonna do? Throw this out? I'll take it, and then maybe Frankenstein.
What do they? I mean, there's a different record inside for them. What am I gonna say? It's the wrong record inside. Maybe they're not giving it to me. Maybe, yeah.
Well, the prices that Savers was charging now, like they're charging $5 a record, which is criminal. I wish I would have known. I actually was at Savers today, Arnaldo, and I got a couple damn Jason Rojas 45s. Mariah Carey 45s were there. So, yeah.
Which one did you get? Which one?
And there's actually one that the Unplugged.
Oh, wow.
And then there's one that has actually like 3 songs on one side and 2 on the other. I need to go look at it. It's downstairs.
Wow.
But yeah, 99 cents. So shout out to the 45s at Savers. It's the last refuge for the persecuted music fan. Because $4.99 on LPs now, it's criminal. I don't know.
Well, next time, the best place to buy 45s is human head, because the thing that bugs me about 45s, when they don't have picture sleeves, they're so much harder to flip through. Human head puts them in the plastic,
Yeah.
and with a marker, they write pretty big what it is. So it's
good.
very easy to tell what you're flipping through. It's genius. I don't know why other people don't think about it.
That's a lot of labor. That's a lot of labor to do.
It is, but they're $8.
it.
They're not $1 45s. There you go. They're at least the cheapest 45 I've seen there is probably $8. So maybe it's worth it for them.
They're recouping their cost.
Yeah.
Well, my neck is still in a state of paralysis. For an hour and a half I spent looking at 45s on Sunday, and I was doing baseball card style. Like, I was pulling out all my old tricks. I had the 45s. I had my middle finger through the hole. I'm sliding them back and forth, trying to read them. Because then, of course, there were some heavy breathers next to me, and then there was almost a fight because the gentleman wanted to split the divide between me and another guy, and a guy on the other side wasn't having it. And I was, this is records, guys. But anyway, so if I automatically start losing my giant 5'10" stature, it's a Jason Rojas situation. That's all I'm saying. But it's fun. Man. It's fun. I wish I had it. It's downstairs. They had a Prince 45 that was given out at a Timberwolves game a couple years ago. So the Prince estate, it was sealed.
Really?
And it was a promo given out at the basketball game. It goes for like $20 or $30. I got it for $2. But
now watch Jason go pull.
Oh, if he pulls this damn 45, I'm just gonna give up. If he's got a Prince 45 from the Timberwolves versus Heat game in 2019, then I'm done.
And what's the song?
Oh, I have to pull out this, guys, because it's not. It's downstairs in my recording.
Is it a picture sleeve? Is it just a plain?
No, it's a picture sleeve. It's got Prince dribbling a basketball on the back, which I love. Okay. Hang on, this goes. I've been cataloging my 45, so let me dig it up real quick. Collection. It is while we're waiting for Jason.
Just for
Rock and Roll is alive, and it lives in Minneapolis. Here, I'll pull it over here.
Emotions.
Oh, Miss Mariah, is that the one? Yeah. Nice.
Price is Right.
Yeah. Our friends at Breakaway. Yes. I like it. Yeah, this is it. I'll show it to you guys real quick. Present. Sorry, folks. Give me a second. They called it the artist formerly known as Prince. Isn't that fun? All right. So let me make this better.
I've never seen that around.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to print that. Hang on. Yeah, I've never seen it either. It was just one of those things. God bless. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so it was in the sleeve and everything. And literally, this is the coup de grace. It was sealed. It still had the sticker from the game on it. And look at this.
Wow. Oh, jeez.
Come on, bro. Come on. Yes. Wow. That was worth. I bundled it. I bought. He was $2 a piece. I think I bought 12 for 10 or something. I forget. Oh no, I bought 24 for 20. And so anyway, it's called $1.75. Best $1.75 I spent. Fun stuff. Because some of these giveaways, like the Pearl Jam one they gave out that was made at Third Man for a Cubs game years ago. It's this song Eddie Vedder wrote for the Cubs. Someday We'll Go All the Way. That's like $150, $200 single, and that was just a giveaway at a Cubs game, right? Like the only place. So anyway, this picture alone, beautiful. That
reminds me of the David Chappelle quote, right? He's like, game blouses.
Game blouses. Who wants some pancakes? That's right. Yep. So anyway, so as much as I'm joking with Jason, it has had a nice little wrinkle to collecting, and also like it's fun when you find some of these things that I said when I was talking about the Jordan Knight thing. Jordan Knight, that song "Give It to You" is also on a 45, by the way. So it adds a nice new little wrinkle to the collection. I will say, like when we were in New York, Arnaldo, and we were going to some of those shops, need a lot of time to dig through like those 45 boxes like Jason has done in some of these instances.
I didn't even know that store had that section back there of 45s if it wasn't for Jason.
Yeah,
like, Jason, what are you doing back here? It's like, look at all these 45s.
I feel like Jason's lived the lives of like 40 men because
no, they're very cheaply priced. They're like $3-5. So that's very,
Well, yeah. It's a tenth of an album, so I guess that's about right.
They had like a bunch of rare 45s and they priced them low. And I think whoever's, when I go to the cashier, I think they just hate me because like some of the guys look at the price. They're like, why is this
The
$2?
thing about
Jason's picture behind the cash register.
as somebody who's been around a long time, I can tell you one thing to look for. One thing to look for on 45s is on the flip side, look to see if the song is listed as having been on any album, because there are so many that are songs that you can't find anywhere else.
That's
and
right.
that is really what makes it fun.
Prince did a lot of that. Most of Prince's B-sides were not on the album.
Yeah.
So Music in the House, we'll close at this. It says next step concert buddy, a jukebox for all those 45s.
There you go.
Maybe one day. But honestly, that's also a nice little collectible wrinkles because a lot of these singles were for jukebox only. So if you can find them at the jukebox strip too, it's a nice little wrinkle. Like case in point, one of my locals, Jason went there. They have a room upstairs that has over 1 million 45s. So I've been spending a lot of time up there. And now's the time because they don't really have the best, let's call it HVAC system. Love them. Yeah. Great people. But you don't want to go in the summer. And anyway, I literally walked out of there this week with a lot of contemporary stuff, David Gray, stuff that people probably don't think to look at when they're up there. Because, like the 45 people are a special kind of subculture of collector, right? And so they don't get hung up on picture discs. They just go look for like the real, what's called the real gold. And I found a Townes Van Zandt single up there not too long ago, and that $2, and then you go check online, it's $45 poppy, right? Like I'm like, okay. So having fun in the sun. But yeah, the jukebox ones are a lot of fun. They're usually white label. A lot of Garth Brooks singles were jukebox only, so that's been a lot of fun accumulating those.
Do you ever find the jukebox records with the strip that you're supposed to put in the jukebox? Yeah, I've never found any. You can see for jukebox only, but I've never found it with the strip.
I think, well, I can only speak for my limited experience right now, but yeah, exactly, jukebox strip. Oh, nothing compares to you.
Oh, wow. Nothing compares to you. Awesome.
Good call. Good pull. But I think when a lot of those guys were like excelling through those, because I'll find them in the plain white sleeves, and those often are tucked into the sleeve.
Inside
with
sleeve?
the 45, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I just got shout out to Paul Abdul, my homegirl, one of my crushes when I was coming up. Opposites Attract jukebox I picked up recently with the strip. So anyway, well, it's been fun. It's been real. It's been real fun. I want to thank my guests, David Bianco, Safe and Sound Texas Audio Excursion, Arnaldo Fidelius _frequency, and Jason Rojas. Oh man, light show coming at you. That's Surface Noise After Dark. We'll get real freaking geeky with that stuff. Anyway, thanks for everybody in the gallery. Hit that like button, hit the dislike button, just hit A button. Appreciate you. And Spins Vinyl will be back next week. B-side, a lot of the same cast and crew. But until we do it, we'll do it in 2 weeks. Was it Chuck Woolery 2 and 2? Is that what he used to do? All right, we'll see you next time. Thanks, everybody.
Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.